Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. I'm so glad to be with you. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today we have, they have me actually standing up and preaching. So usually I'm sitting down and giving a teaching. That means that I guess you need to hear the preached word today. So I'm so happy to do that for you. And during this Sunday, I'm hoping that you will be inspired by God and the good news to live for Him, to live out His love in your life, and also to spread that love to your neighbor, whoever your neighbor might be around you. Well, today, I cannot help but to think about the big gathering there in Rio de Janeiro. Yes, I'm talking about the World Youth Day 2013. Some of us might say, gosh, I wish I was there. And in fact, I wish I was there also. But, walang kwarta, walang pera for that. But the thing is just that today is the culmination. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, will be speaking to the hundreds and thousands, in fact, probably millions of people gathered there in Rio to give the message, the good news about Jesus Christ. And the theme of World Youth Day this year is Go and Make Disciples. A very appropriate theme for the young people, because they have to understand that they're not just the hope, or rather they're not the church of the future, that they are the church today. Sometimes we are so concerned about the future and preparing them for the future, but we need to prepare them for today. In today's struggles, today's society that's full of hardship and pain, as well as full of joy and happiness. But let's be very honest, there's so many things going on that our young people need to learn how to face. And I'll tell you, the only answer is Jesus. That's the only answer. You know, I'm so happy that I can stand here before you, my dear friends, on this program, Voces Amoris, to be able to proclaim that there is hope for the future. There is hope for this world. There is hope. I know that many of you might say, I've heard this before. I've heard this type of sermons before, that it's always in Jesus. It gets very boring. That's what some people would say. It gets boring. I know it's about Jesus. But have you really tried Him? Have you really understood that He is the answer to our problems, our difficulties? You see, if we would read His Word, the Word of God, through the Bibles, through the sacred scriptures, as well as through the teachings of His church that He has founded, you will begin to understand the mindset of the Lord and how to go about living this life in fullness and with hope for tomorrow, and with happiness for today. And that's what so many of the young people are looking for. They're gathered there in Rio de Janeiro, at least the delegates. They only represent the youth of the world. Many of them, they're looking for something that's going to last, not something that's going to pass from one day and then it's gone the next, like a one-hit wonder. I'm from Motown, from Detroit, Michigan originally. And there have been many groups, singing groups. Wow, they sing, and they had a real nice song. They made one profound song, one record, and that's all we know them by the one song that they made. They're one-hit wonders. That's the way that some people are living their lives. That there's one exciting thing, and then that's it. A television program. Sometimes it's exciting and it's wonderful, but then it's gone the next day, or it's gone after the season. But what young people are looking for is something that's going to last, not only from now until next week, but for the rest of their lives. And I tell you, Pope Francis is going to say emphatically, just like I'm saying emphatically to you right now, that is Jesus. He's the one that is unmovable. He's the one that will stay there. You know, Psalm 1, if you read the scriptures, you go to Psalm 1, and it talks about a tree that's planted by the river, by the river. It shall not be moved. And that's one thing about a tree, and I love about a coconut tree. Since I've been here in the Philippines, In my own place, we have like oak trees and pine trees. But here, it's nice to see a banana tree or a coconut tree, because they have a sense of when the wind blows, they're able to bend with the wind. I hope you don't mind me reenacting that. But the thing is that a coconut tree, when the wind is blowing, it will move. It's not uprooted and taken away. Instead, it learned how to bend with the wind. No matter what comes up against it, it's not going to be uprooted, but yet it's going to bend and still stay intact. This is what the young people want. They want something that's solid, that will be here forever. And again, it's Jesus. He is going to be here because he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. My gosh, this is good news. Why is this good news? Ang maayong balita, we say in Bisaya, sometimes I try to intersperse Bisaya or even Tagalog because, well, not to impress you, but just to know that I really am one who lives here in the Philippines. And although my Bisaya always say it's Carabao Bisaya, because I make lots of mistakes, but don't you worry about that. The thing is that the Lord Jesus, really, he is what we need for today. He is the answer. He is what the young people are yearning for. How many times I've watched television, and let's be very honest, as much as I'm so happy that you're listening to me right now and watching me over this particular station, My TV, and maybe you are watching it on the internet. We have so many gadgets today. We have, of course, the internet. We have televisions. We have, of course, radio. That's been there for a while. We have now smartphones. My gosh, we have so much technology, and sometimes we are wasting our lives on that. There are many who can't even carry a conversation any longer because they're so busy texting and texting and texting. Always on Facebook or Twitter, hi, can you be my GF? I want to be your BF, and all these type of things like that. Sometimes we get so moved with these things that we forget about what really matters in life. And certainly the Lord brings us to that. He helps us to know what really matters in life. But anyway, I'm glad that you're watching this television program. But there are programs that I've watched in the past that, to be very honest, they're practically garbage. I mean, yes, they entertain for a moment, they titillate, as we say, they make you excited for a moment, but then it lets you down. They let you down. And in fact, there are many programs nowadays that, my goodness, they're very immoral. So much immoral that you wonder whether or not they can really stay on television. But now we become so liberal now with the television that almost anything goes. But we must be very careful about that. And I think the young people, especially those gathered in Rio de Janeiro, that's what they're yearning for. Something that's more, something that is not really being pushed upon them, but is there and will be there forever. Speaking about these television programs, about our morals have been changing. This program of Voces Amores, we are to really center about love and God's love. But when you look at some of the programs that comes out of my own country, the U.S., or even I'm sure there's some here in Manila, in Tagalog. I won't name them, but that they really have become so immoral. How many? I mean, let's be very honest. Let's talk about sex for a moment, You don't have to run away. You don't have to get your children in another room. I want you to hear this. Think about sex. It was made for of course, to procreate, to create human life. That's the only way that we will continue our human species, no? But also to unify the husband and wife. Well, most of the programs, and in fact television, and movies, when was the last time, I want you to think about this, when was the last time you saw a Hollywood movie where two people, from the opposite sex, of course, they come together and they have the sexual relation and then they're married to each other? Meaning that you would never see that. You never see a husband and a wife in the context of the movie having relations. It's always extramarital, or it's always premarital, but it's never inside the marriage. I can't, right now I cannot think, and I watch a lot of movies, I cannot think of one movie right now that I've seen where the characters were husband and wife and they made love. No, instead, it's always they say, mas lame. No, masarap, pinaka masarap. It's so wonderful when it's premarital or extramarital or deviant in some way. And let me tell you something. If you don't think that these movies and sitcoms on television doesn't affect us, you better think about that again. I mean, really, you've heard of the analogy about if you have a frog and if you put him in hot water, of course he's going to jump out. But if you have a frog and you put him in regular water and then all of a sudden you increase the temperature, slowly, hina-hina-ira, and all of a sudden, as he doesn't even recognize, wow, it is getting hot in here, but he stays there. And then he's fried, he's cooked. He doesn't get out. And that's the way that we are. And young people must understand this. So if you're a young person, think about what I'm talking about. And that the world and the decadence of the world, and I hate to say some of the media things that we have, it's like we're like in a cooker, and that we don't know. We think everything is nice. We're just relaxing. We're grooving with everything, and then later on we find ourselves being cooked. We find ourselves being actually manipulated, and that's why we have so many problems today. So I just want you to know that there is an answer to all this. And the young people in Rio will hear about it, and you should hear about it. And it's about Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. I hope that we're going to go to a break right now. And when we come back, we will just continue on with that theme about go and make disciples. And, of course, the young people. And, of course, today's gospel.